Today I will share with you the story of how I beat Tower of Double Trouble, or TODT. It's my second soul-crushing tower, and it's a low insane tower located in Zone 2 of the spatial system in JToH. It's a soul-crushing tower because it's insane difficulty or above. TODT is my second completed soul-crushing tower. My first was Tower of Difficulty Chart in Ring 2 from about a year ago.
Print screen. Yes! Yes! Let's go! Oh my gosh, we did it!
If you go on to enjoy today's video, please make sure you leave a like and consider subscribing. I'd love to hit 3,000 subscribers this year. Let's talk about the gameplay of the tower. The name sort of implies that Tower of Double Trouble has 20 floors, as a normal tower is 10 floors. But, actually no. It's still 10 floors, but some of them have multiple sides, which basically means the floor is just split into multiple sections like you see here. Floors 1 through 5 is just one side, which is probably what you're used to seeing. Floors 6 through 10, however, are split into 3 sides. During the first half of the tower, you'll ascend up side A, and then you'll reach the halfway point at side B, specifically 10B. Then you'll descend through side B to 6B. Finally, you'll go to 6C, from which you'll do one final ascending section until you reach the wind pad. So side A is 10 floors, side B is 5 floors, and side C is 5 floors. That adds up to 20, which is why the tower is called Tower of Double Trouble. At the start of 2023, I set some JToH goals for myself. This year, I want to complete Tower of Double Trouble, Zone 2 Insane, Tower of Tornado Vehemence, Zone 4 Remorseless, and Tower of Thinning Layers, Zone 1 Insane, in that order. Thus, I began to play Tower of Double Trouble in my streams that I started doing again this year, but the TODT grind really began a few weeks ago. With a stream or two on weekends, I practiced and learned the tower pretty quickly. I think there are two main reasons why Tower of Double Trouble took me such a short amount of time to win compared to Tower of Double Trouble. 1, TODT is easier as it's low insane, while TODC is mid insane. 2, my skills have improved since TODC, so I was able to beat the tower much more quickly. Similar to the Tower of Difficulty Chart video, this video will include 3 parts: stream highlights, a fail compilation, and the run where I beat the tower. In the top left of the corner, you'll see the date of the stream you're seeing in month, day, year format. For example, this means March 25th, 2023. Also, it's definitely worth mentioning that one of the monthly challenges from March was to win TODT starting from the halfway point, or 10B. This was great because it was right when I was doing TODT, and because I could practice the second half of the tower. In the top right of the screen, you'll see this text reading monthly challenge if the part of the stream you're seeing is that. Anyway, without further ado, let's get to the stream highlights. My goal for today is going to be get to floor 6. If possible, get to floor 7. And then after I do that, I'm going to try this challenge. We'll see if that even works. You probably have heard sitcom before, genre of TV shows, short for situational comedy. But for the longest time, I thought it meant sit-down comedy, like as opposed to stand-up comedy. So I imagined it's like a talk show thing with a bunch of people sitting at a table making unfunny jokes, like that they were trying to be funny, but just failing miserably at it. Is this health bar thing like JToH, or was that a Roblox UI update? Just make sure this is lined up. Okay, now for the funny truss section. Oh, someone beat Tower of Pleasant Fantasies. Good job. I really don't like trusses like this. And I really don't like trusses like this. We're just gonna slowly make my way around here. There's no need to rush. I guess I'm going clockwise. The health bar is JToH. Okay. I guess this is better since I know the exact health count, rather than just a rough estimate. What is happening? No, why is this going the other way? Stop. Nice. We made it past the funny truss section. It's not as funny as the one on Tower of Difficulty Chart, though. If you don't like trusses, don't do Tower of Inevitable Failure. Okay. Also, if you say don't do a tower, I'm just going to take that as don't do that anytime soon, or just expect it to take a lot of practice. I'm not just going to not do a tower. Okay, here's what I'm going to do for the upcoming jump that I feel like I might fail. I'm not even worried that I'm going to fail it, like, because it's just so easy. Like, see how easy that was? Didn't even have to think about it. When I was practicing this like 20 minutes ago, I was talking about how JToH and like practicing towers isn't so different from learning a piece of music. There's a thing, I was playing a song or a piece. It was like for a full band arrangement, so it wasn't like, I play trumpet, by the way, so I played the trumpet part. And so it's not like on a piano where you can just play a high note super easily. I mean, it was an F on top of the staff, which isn't like that hard. But in rehearsals, I just missed it like a bunch of times. It's like I had a bunch of rests right before the end. Like the last 20 or so measures were just rests for me while other people were playing. But then the last note, everyone played. Or almost everyone. So that included me. And it was F on top of the staff. And I missed it a bunch of times in the rehearsals. But at the actual performance, during those rests, I was just thinking, there's no chance I fail this. Like, I'm not even worried because I'm just so gonna not miss the jump. Or, no. So that works here too, apparently, in JToH. I'm just so not gonna miss the jump. Also, would you look at that? We're at floor 6. Let's see if I can reach floor 7. No! Looks like that's not happening. Sad. How did I miss that? I caught it at least. Wait, but this is before the funny trust section, so probably gonna fail that. Except, no, I'm not. I'm not even worried, because it's just so easy. Okay. That's great. Can I show you the floor 6 skip? I guess. Hold on, let me just do this tightrope. Okay. Okay, let's just do the monthly challenge. Welcome to the halfway point. You still have a long way to go, so good luck. Okay, you can stand on the safety net. That's good. Oh yeah, I remember the next section from a video I saw. It's survive the kill bricks of death. Careful falling here will send you back to the beginning of the dropper. Wait, no, this isn't the survive the kill bricks. Not yet, anyway. Oh, this is clever. You have to, they made it so you have to not miss that jump or else you hit the morpher and it moves these away and you have to redo that. This is good that I'm playing this whole section of the tower, the second half of it. That way I'll know what to expect when I get here in an actual run. So I'm very glad this exists. Is this, I guess this is the spinning kill brick thing. Careful, falling here will send you back to the beginning of the dropper. Not yet, never mind. But there is a spinning kill brick of death. But it's not like survive it for 10 seconds, if you know what I mean. I don't think it's 10 seconds, though. I don't think there's any point after this that you can fall, like, back to side A. I mean, there's the last jump that you can lose all your progress if you fail, but other than that, I think the farthest back you can go is the start of side B. Or the start of the dropper, as it's called by the signs. Beware, when entering the next floor, you must survive 25 seconds of an onslaught of kill bricks before you can move on. Good luck. Can't you just, like, stand in the corner? Yeah, this is dealing, like, no damage. Okay, you can stand in the corner. That's convenient. Where do you go at the end? Over here. Okay. Heal and read chat time. Oh, is the floor here safe? I guess so. I'm not gonna try it, though, but I'm probably gonna fail. 8 seconds. I don't know where I'm trying to get to. Probably that next button. Press it. Okay. Wait, dang it. You don't fall. This is a safety net. That's good to know when I reach here in an actual run. Oh, this is the final stretch. Okay, good. What I choose to blame my randomly terrible skills on is the fact that I can't see anything because the color is so bright. That feels like an unreliable skip. But it also, okay, maybe not. Hopefully that doesn't skip any checkpoints. Can I align this? It looks like I can. What does flat-sided mean? Oh, and what's my personal best? It's, some easy jump on floor 6A, because I'm bad at the game, randomly. Oh, and flat-sided, I think it's when you're doing a long jump, it, like, randomly doesn't let you jump or something. Someone else can probably better explain it than that. Something looks different about these next bricks. Fading platforms. I think what you're supposed to do is, like, hit the first one, then you, oh, okay. Okay, just wait for them to all respawn. Okay, let's not do that. Dude, really. It's kinda just what... Really? These fade quite quickly. It's not like... It's not as forgiving as on Tower of True Skill. Should I just give up? I don't know. One more attempt. That doesn't count. Okay. Okay, rage quit time. Just reset. I don't know why it keeps lagging so much. Clearly, increasing the graphics quality is going to fix that. Of what was my keyboard. I feel better now. Now I win the tower. After smashing the desk violently. The other setup with the fold-up plastic table, that had a much more satisfying rage slam. Because it would, like, yeah. Because, you know, that's how those tables are.
No, let's not fail this. Of course I failed it. Of course I failed it.
Bro, that table slam hurt my hand even though I didn't do it. Bro, is your desk okay? Yeah. There are days where you actually get far in the tower and you get a new PB, and there are days where you want to die after failing a medium jump. I guess this is one of those days. But, like, I don't want to just have nothing accomplished in this stream, but I guess I practiced it a lot for 45 minutes, so that was something, I suppose. So, here's the funny story. You know this new avatar? So, this is about the shirt, mainly. So, it says Roro Studios on the front, and then there's nothing on the back. So, this was originally, I was going to make this new avatar back in August. My previous outfit to this, like before that, was using this shirt. So, I was going to kind of make it similar to this one. So, it says Roro Studios on the front, and on the back we have the YouTube logo. When I made this new one, it was going to pretty much be the same, but with gradients and text effects, so it would look a little bit better. But for some reason, my account got a warning for uploading that. The rule that I apparently broke was that, like, you're not supposed to give links to any website that is not Roblox, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. So that was the rule I apparently broke. But I didn't even give a link. Like, it was just the YouTube logo and the text Roro Studios, so I guess in a way that was a link to the channel. But also, last time I checked, a YouTube link falls under the category of a YouTube link. Also, last time I checked, I literally basically uploaded the same shirt like a year ago, and it was perfectly fine. So, I don't know what's up with that. Like I said, it's just a warning, so I don't really care, but that's still weird. So now it's just without the YouTube logo. Can we go twice in a requested obby? No, because I want to make sure everyone has a chance. However, in different videos, I guess, so yeah. Perhaps you're wondering why specifically summer I'm planning, like, I'll do requested obbies. Well, it's because there's going to be like a 3-week period during the summer that I'm going to have a bunch of videos scheduled for daily uploads that whole time. It's going to be very epic. There's going to be JToH videos, obby creator building videos, requested obbies, and on the Saturdays are going to be very epic gamer videos. I don't want to spoil too much, but one of them is going to be like a movie thingy I'm going to make, which is going to be like kind of a prequel to JToH and SMToH. SMToH is Shark's Mini Towers of Heck. That's my JToH rings and obby creator. So it'll be like a prequel to the story of that. It'll be very cool. Wait, what is the full storyline for Shark's Mini Towers of Heck? Things in the citadels and stuff. I'm not going to tell you the whole story at the moment. I want it to be revealed as I build all the rings. Let's see, what, like, teasers can I give about the movie? Well, it's going off of, like, JToH before there were towers, you know. It was just a archipelago of one huge island, which would be World 1, eventually, where all the rings are. A smaller island, which is this one, Zone 2, and a volcano called Mount Peril, which eventually would become Citadel of Peril. That's all I'm going to say. Perhaps you're wondering where Zone 1 is in that list of islands. Leave some guesses in the stream chat, but I'm not going to tell you if you're correct or, well, okay, if I don't say anything, then you're incorrect, and I'm not going to tell you what it is unless someone happens to guess it exactly in quite precise detail. So it's apparently a conspiracy theory that the state of Wyoming doesn't exist. It's not real. And here's the evidence. Are you from Wyoming? Have you ever been to Wyoming? Do you know anyone from Wyoming? Do you know anyone who's been to Wyoming? I'll bet the answer to all those questions are no, thus proving Wyoming isn't real. In some recent stream, it was the one where I was playing Obby Creator and building Floor 5 outside of Tower of Music Theory Mayhem. Oh my gosh. So anyway, someone in the in-game chat was typing that like Burger King song from YouTube ads. Well, here's what you should order next time you go to Burger King. So their slogan is have it your way, right? So your way should be the following. I would like a McWhopper with mashed potatoes cut into 8 slices like a pizza, and I want the top bun on the bottom and the bottom bun on the top. And don't think you can just make it normally and flip it over. I know the difference. I'd like to eat that with a spork. You guys have sporks, right? If you know what I'm referencing here, type it in the live stream chat. And if you're right, you get plus infinity coolness points. If not, I'll just tell you what I'm referencing. Okay, no one knows. So it's a comedian person, Dennis Regan. So it's on, the whole special is on YouTube on the channel Dry Bar Comedy. The video is called Falling Out of Kindergarten, Dennis Regan Full Special. At some point in that, he says that, and it's really funny. That concludes the stream highlights. Now we'll move on to the fail compilation. This won't include every fail because there were quite a lot. The main thing I want you to notice is that a lot of these are just random fails on floors 1 through 5 for, like, no reason. But that's just the way grinding a tower is sometimes. Hold on. Bruh. Okay. That's great. It's kind of just what... Really. These fade quite quickly. It's not like... It's not as forgiving as on Tower of True Skill. Really? And I landed there. That was kind of cool. But I fell. That's super annoying. Dude, really? Really? Just really? Like, actually, really? Just... Dude, really? But, yeah, if you want to... This is so annoying. Bro, I failed the easiest jump. Me too. Of what was my keyboard. I feel better now. Now I win the tower. After smashing the desk violently. Okay, funny trust section. And that's why... Dude, really? Bruh. Dude, are you... Oh my gosh. It really blocks your view, please. Okay. That was not... We're okay. That wasn't much progress lost. Oh, that's what I did wrong. Okay. Why did I press shift there? I have 30 seconds already lapsed. Don't press shift that time. I didn't, but I failed the same way. Don't do that, though. Dude, really? Okay, new PB. Oh boy. What was that? 8 seconds. Just a few 1 studs. 2 seconds, 1 second. Just in time. If I'd have failed that, I probably would have landed there. Okay, yeah, it wouldn't have been that bad. The lowest I would have likely fallen would be down there. Floor 7. I fell. Dude, really? No, 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 no. Back to floor 1. Oh, no. Let's just see how long that run was, just to see. 28 minutes, okay. Okay, hold on. Just close your eyes for a second. Well, look at that. We're at 10A, 10B. 10, yeah. I mean, I'm okay with falling there. Like, that was good progress. Floor 10 now. I'm more than happy with that. Long story short, on the monthly challenge, I was able to reach the second to last wraparound twice. Don't fail. No! No. Ah! I made it, but why was the platform there? It was blocking me from jumping. If that wasn't there, I wouldn't have been able to progress, sure, but I wouldn't have fallen. Despite that pretty bad fall back to floor 1, I was more than happy with the progress I'd made for that day. I'd almost won the second half of the tower for the monthly challenge, and almost all of side A on a legitimate run. This stream was on a Saturday, and the Sunday after it I was able to stream again, and that's where the third and final part of this video begins. The run. On Sunday, March 26th, 2023, I began a stream in the practice lobby game like I did in most of the other streams for TODT. I spent about 5 minutes practicing a few jumps I had struggled with the previous day, and then I went into the main game. Because this would probably be my last day to stream in March, my main goal for the day was to win the monthly challenge. It was pretty much my last chance to do so. With no major fails along the way, I reached the win pad of that pretty quickly. Okay, not even worried because I'm just so gonna make it. Oh yeah. I'm not worried about this either because I'm just so gonna make it. Let's go! That was the monthly challenge, but nice. Whew, let's go. Plus 14 monthly tickets, I think. Yeah, let's go. Also, apparently that was remorseless difficulty according to that win message. At this point, I knew the only thing really standing in between me and winning the tower legitimately were a few jumps on floor 10A just before the halfway point. There were a few minutes of annoying fails on floors 1 through 5, but I was good once I reached 6A. So here's a run with my post-commentary guide on the tower, because I wasn't really talking about the tower as I played it. In the description and pinned comment, I'll link the Unlisted stream in which I beat the tower. There you can watch the unedited run. Skip to this time in the stream to do so. So let's begin. Okay, so here's how you get to Tower of Double Trouble. So from the Zone 2 spawn, you want to go to the Psychologically Unsafe Towers section. That would be right here, and then you need to go behind here. Your walk speed will be decreased here, so make sure you're ready for that. Then you do this quick little parkour thing, and then you'll fall down here, and then here's the lobby for Tower of Double Trouble. Prepare for trouble. Make it double. Oh boy, good luck on this one. So from here, you can enter the tower. Okay, so here's how the previous run ended. And this was actually right when I was talking about the McWhoppers during the stream highlights section. Alright, so first you do that. I mean, it's pretty easy to learn the first few jumps. And you might notice some similarities between this and Tower of Thinning Layers, because apparently this tower was inspired by Tower of Thinning Layers. Many people consider Tower of Double Trouble to just be Tower of Thinning Layers, but better. The first floor is super easy to learn. This wraparound might look difficult, but it's really not. Here we got some long jumps, so just do them carefully. Coming up, we have the first of the tower's many tightrope wraparounds. They're actually easier than they might look. What I recommend doing is just doing the tightrope normally, then doing the wraparound, and then sometimes I kind of flick my camera once I land on the other side of the wraparound, because that kind of helps me not fall off the tightrope. But you don't have to do that if you don't need to. Make sure you're careful on these ledges here. If you're sideways, you might slide down them, so just be aware of that. This tower contains a lot of tricky wraparounds, so I definitely would recommend going to the practice lobby games so that you can learn most of them. This is probably the hard one, I guess. Maybe. Okay, be careful on this jump. I missed that a few times, so just make sure you do that carefully. This jump onto that one stud is a little bit easier than it might look. And then here's what I'd recommend doing on the spinner. So jump to it, and then jump again, and then jump a third time. Don't underestimate these wraparounds. Here we have some more long jumps. Just do them carefully and you should be good. And then we have more of these thingies, circular platforms with wraparounds on them. These are also seen a lot in Tower of Thinning layers. This wraparound is like a 10 stud, or almost that. That one is a 10 stud though. Then this stick out wraparound onto that one stud pole thing is easier than it looks. You can use alignment there if you want. I do just to be safe. Now comes the funny truss section. So because I'm really bad at going around trusses, I do the truss flick up first. That way I have a higher chance of catching myself on the lower platform in case I fall. Okay, now this is the worst part of the entire truss section. So trusses equals bad in my opinion. But anyway, what I did here was you'd climb up to the top and then basically just press A. It's really weird and really RNG. Like sometimes you'd go the complete opposite direction than this. Like sometimes you go clockwise, sometimes you go counterclockwise. You can also kind of shake your camera a little bit, but that's kind of risky. So yeah, just practice this section and you should be okay. The jump off of the truss is pretty easy. Just make sure you're aware of where the platform is. And then the wraparounds after that, they might look difficult, but personally, I didn't really have any trouble with them. I recommend looking ahead, like I just said, just so you can be aware of where you're trying to jump to. Alright, we got another one of these. The wraparounds are, once again, easier than they look, especially when you get on the second, the top part of this, because then if you fall, you'll probably land on the one beneath it, the platform. And then there's some one studs. They're semi-transparent, so yeah. Oh yeah, and jump on that spinner twice like I did there. And then, once again, these wraparounds are easier than they probably look. And here's another jump you should treat as a long jump. There is that ladder there, so that makes it a little bit easier than whatever it is, like a 15 stud jump or something. And also makes it realistically possible. More so on these wedges than on floor 3. Make sure you don't accidentally slide off the truss, or the wedges while you're sideways. But you can kind of use that to your advantage. Just make sure you're careful about that. So slide down in a controlled way. This wraparound right here is probably equivalent to a 9.5 or 10 stud wraparound. I guess it's still easier than it might look, but to a lesser extent than the other times I have said that. And would you look at that? More jumps you should treat as a long jump. And then we have some ladder flicks here. Some more wraparounds. And this truss flick, it is a little bit difficult, I guess. I don't think I failed it in an actual run at all, but I did fail it in practice a few times. So just be careful on that. The walkarounds are pretty easy. Just make sure you practice them, or are good at walkarounds. On this tightrope wrap, I guess do it like this. So be facing the other way right there, backwards, and then turn around after you land the jump. Now here, you don't hit your head on the platforms that are above you on those. So don't do anything differently that would make you fall there. Here you are at 6A. You're about to reach a point where if you fall, you're most likely going to land above floor 5. And floors 1 through 5, people say are the hardest, and I guess I kind of agree with that. Now there's a really useful shortcut you can do. Do that and then high jump up. It skips half of the floor. Probably the worst part about this floor is just it's hard to see anything because the color is so bright. But there's another shortcut here. Just high jump up. Also, none of the high jumps I did at all are more than a 10 stud high jump, so you don't need to do any weird lag high jumps or anything. Do those wraparounds on the left side because the wall is in the way otherwise. And also, once you do that high jump, after that point is where, if you fall, you'll probably catch yourself at 6A or above. Do that jump carefully. Don't go too fast. That's probably the most likely way you'd fail that. And then some wraparounds that are pretty easy, but here, make sure you do go on the left side and then the right side. You'll notice it's a harder wraparound on the opposite ones. I don't even know if it's possible, but here you are at side 7A. There's a button timer here for 15 seconds. You don't really need to go super fast though. Don't fall like I did though. You'll see where you need to get to before the timer runs out. There is a tightrope wraparound before you get there. And this was my first time on this section in an actual run. I almost ran out of time, but most of the time you won't. But yeah, that just shows how the button timer is really easy. Do those ladder flicks carefully. Do shift and space or an actual ladder flick, whichever one you feel more comfortable doing. Or I didn't really have a specific one I wanted to do at a specific time at all on that part. I kind of thought about doing that, but I didn't. So Just don't rush it, you'll be fine. Oh, and once again, do those wraparounds like away from the wall. So this time it's actually on the right. Here we have yet another section that looks harder than it is. There's really no hard wraparounds at all. You don't really have to do that as a long jump, even though I did there. Do both of these on the right side, and don't rush that jump like onto there. Make sure you actually use that half stud, because I accidentally missed the half stud, and then the jump is impossible at one point. This wrap, probably easier than the one on floor 5, but still kind of the same concept, I guess. And then do that jump like that, where you like press shift lock midair. That'll just make it easier. That's a long jump. You don't really have to use alignment, but if you feel more comfortable doing that, then I guess you can do that. This is also a long jump. Like, basically this section, if you mess it up, you're probably falling back to floor 1. The jumps are kind of difficult, I guess. I mean, it's that wraparound, not as bad as it looks, and then that's just a 10 stud wraparound. So as long as you're good doing 10 stud wraparounds, you should be good there. I only failed that one time on the day before this stream where I beat the tower. Okay, now the next floor is entirely a button speedrun. You have 60 seconds to do it. Earlier in the video, you saw that I finished the section with like less than a second remaining, but once you learn the section, that's not really going to happen. And there's also a shortcut on here that will pretty much guarantee that doesn't happen. And usually you'll end up finishing with like 10 to 20 seconds remaining. These jumps are pretty easy. Here you have a long jump. It's not that bad though, but it is non-climbable, so make sure you do it like that. This wraparound's kind of difficult, so I definitely would recommend practicing that one. And then from here, you've pretty much won the floor. You got some wraparounds. You don't go into climbing animation on that platform. There's not any point of doing that. But do that on there. Okay, and then here's the shortcut. It's just you high jump on top of there. I didn't do it that time, but you should. Here's an example of doing the high jump. Then some 1 studs, and then once you get to this larger platform right here, you've won the button speedrun section. So take a breather, and then you're 1 floor away from the halfway point. We have another tightrope wrap, and then go right there, and then there's a wrap around. Not too bad though, even though I still failed it. Just don't do that. I sort of curved outward too much. That time I failed it, so just don't do what I did there. And then this sphere jump is a little bit difficult. I almost missed it there, but luckily I didn't. That's another jump I'd recommend practicing. Here's another useful skip. So you should high jump there. It's like a 12 stud high jump or something, but you can wall hop like where the kill brick is. So it's not a 12 stud high jump. That might sound difficult, but it's actually not. Just make sure you don't die to the kill bricks. There's really just no point in risking your whole run, but there. And then this is pretty much the final stretch until the halfway point. You have this truss section. It's not really that bad. Do shift and space or ladder flicks, however you feel like you'll least likely fall. Once again, don't do that. This wraparound is another one I'd highly recommend you practice. And then this is a long jump with a ladder thing, kind of like the one from before. And then these wraparound, these truss flicks are a little bit scary. Actually, you don't even have to do a truss flick, actually, but you do have to go around the trusses, which I'm really bad at for some reason. The only time you actually have to do a truss flick is when you jump up. I actually didn't do a flick, though. I just, did that thing. Oh, and don't underestimate these wraparounds. I'd also recommend you practice those as well. And then, yay, this is basically the halfway point. Do not rush the tightrope. There's no reason to do that whatsoever. Just go as slow as you need to. Come on. Yes! Okay. Let's go. Woo! You might need to turn sideways right here. And then congratulations, you're at the halfway point. So there's no point you can fall back to side A after here except for the final wraparound. Welcome to the halfway point. You still have a long way to go, so good luck. Nothing happens if you touch the kill brick floor right here, by the way. So you hit that button, and for 8 seconds, some of the platforms will change. And you need to get to, I don't really know, it's kind of weird, but just do that, and then hit that button, which will activate for 10 seconds, and then the darker blue button stays active the whole time, forever. And so then you can jump down, and then the sign says, I think it basically says if you fall, you'll get sent back to the start of 10B. And that's the case for the next 2 floors, I believe. Every floor until 6B. Okay, here you just have a bunch of morphers. It's pretty easy to figure out what you're supposed to do. Just make sure you don't hit any previous morphers to the one you're currently on, because otherwise that'll redo the platforms and you'd have to redo sections, so you don't want to do that. Notice that there is that little extra ledge there on that long jump that looks impossible. Be especially careful there that you don't miss the jump onto the 1 stud, because then you'll hit the previous morpher. Okay, now press that button, and then after that button will it'll stay activated forever. So you reset the run or press a different morpher or something. Don't do that. Well, I suppose that's good for demonstration purposes. Whether you fall or not, you basically need to do the section from here again, and then this is the last time you'll have to do that. I'd recommend you do that as a long jump. Not that you really need to, but I just recommend doing that. Now you're at this floor. It's not the spinning kill brick floor, even though it does have a spinning kill brick. The worst thing it does is block your vision. It doesn't really do any damage. None that will concern you anyway. But should you need to heal up, you can stand in one of the corners. But just remember, if you fall here, you'll get sent back to 10B. Most likely right here, you're going to have to pause for a second and wait for the spinner to pass. Don't try to jump without being able to see the stud. There's no point in risking that. The sign, if you care to pause and read it, basically just says you have to survive the spinning kill bricks on the next floor for 25 seconds. Except actually you can cheese the whole section by just standing in one of the corners. I'd recommend this one because it's closest to the exit, which is the kill brick to the right of the screen, which opens after the timer runs out. Okay, you're at 6B. This is the final part before side C. If you touch the kill brick floor here, nothing happens. It's not a teleport or anything. So this floor is really easy. You basically have to keep pressing the buttons to keep all the platforms activated. Actually, it's only like 2 buttons, isn't it? Well, okay, it's 2 buttons and then this darker 10-second one, which opens the door to side C. The time's not too tight, but like don't go super slow. Like go maybe slightly faster than you normally go. Welcome to side C. It's the final stretch of the tower. People say this is a run ender, and that's true, but not in the way you think it is. It's because you'll usually get frustrated and then eventually just rage quit. Not because, like, it's not like if you follow your run ends or anything like that. Those wedge jumps are really easy, and then here you can high jump to get on top of that ledge. You don't have to do those other wraparounds. You can use alignment on this long jump if you want to, but you don't really have to. Keep in mind it is non-climbable though. These wraparounds can be kind of tricky. I guess you can practice those, but I'm not really stressing that as much as I have on some of the other jumps. Okay, this looks like it's going to be a funny truss section, but actually it's not. Just go into climbing animation on the edge of that cylinder. But if you fall, you'll just land on the thing beneath it. You can try again immediately. Then you have those cylinders that are also really easy, and then some truss flicks. They're also quite easy, and then some wraparounds that aren't even really wraparounds, but if you somehow fall, there's a good chance you'll land on one of the trusses. Be careful not to do that jump wrong, which could happen if you rush it. This wraparound's not too bad, just make sure you don't underestimate it. Notice I keep like looking ahead on some platforms, even though I pretty much know the whole floor. It really helps a lot because you know like exactly where. It doesn't even have to be a long look, just like take a quick glance at where the next platform is. Something looks different about these next bricks. They are fading platforms. So you need to hit that one first. I kind of accidentally hit the first one, but it was okay. If you mess that up, just try again because you'll probably not fall in attempts to do that. I would recommend practicing the section with the fading parts, just so you can be familiar with it, because you do gotta go fast. That sign says if you fall, you'll be sent back to the start of side C, so 6C. This is a darkness floor. It's pretty easy though. I would recommend jumping right here on that ladder thing. That way you don't have to do a weird ladder flick thingy around the corner of it. Take your time on these tight ropes. The jumps after the tight ropes are pretty easy. Once you get to these head hitters, you've pretty much completed the floor. The white neon is kill bricks, by the way. Well, I say you've basically won the floor. For some reason, I failed this a bunch of times in this run, but luckily I never ended up actually hitting the kill brick floor, so I stayed on 9C the whole time. Do these cylinder ladder flicks carefully, and try to move around them as little as possible. On this tightrope, I'd recommend you sort of line it up backwards. I kind of rushed it there, but if you feel like you need to go a little bit slower, by all means do that. Be careful on this teleporter that you don't like keep holding the walk button and then you fall off the platform. Falling here sends you back to 6C, by the way. You're probably getting pretty nervous here, so I'd recommend practicing several times over all of 10C. That ladder flick thing and that wraparound are kind of tricky. Now here it is actually possible to jump on like the upper section of the ladder. I wouldn't recommend doing that though. I just recommend doing the ladder flick because it's really easy. On the cylinder ladder, also ladder flick there to move because it's kind of unreliable to move on a cylinder ladder. Okay, this is probably the hardest jump in the whole tower, this stick out wraparound. Just look ahead, line it up, practice it, all of that. And here you are at the final jump. It's a left-sided 9-stud wraparound raised by 2 studs. Practice that, practice that, practice that. Like, just do it like 50 times or more. That way you can be sure you are not going to fail that. Anyway, here's my reaction to winning the tower. The heart rate is going up. Okay, just line this up. Okay, final jump. Oh my gosh. Yes! Woo! Tower of Double Trouble complete. Let's go. Yes! Woo! GG. WP, I guess, means well played. GG, well played. You completed the Tower of Double Trouble, even though it's comma splice, make that a semicolon. Even though it was one of the easiest soul-crushing towers, it is a big achievement and probably the beginning of your journey of trying to complete the hardest towers in the game. Hopefully Side C wasn't too painful for you, as it is for most people, which reaches the last stretch of the tower. Go outside to take a break. Good luck with other soul-crushing towers in the future. Whoa. Here's how they made that. They made this 0.99 transparent, or 0.05, I think, or 0.02. I think that's the minimum it needs to be for glass to do that. It's kind of an infinity IQ way to do that. Tower of Double Trouble in 52:16:06. Worth a screenshot. GG. Perhaps at this point, you're wondering what I'm going to do next to my streams. Well, I'm going to grind Tower of Tornado Vehemence, a peak remorseless tower in Zone 4. It'll kind of be a break from Soul Crushing Towers before I get into Tower of Thinning Layers, an insane tower in Zone 1. When I win Tower of Thinning Layers, that'll be my new hardest tower. That is going to conclude today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you leave a like and consider subscribing so you don't miss any future videos or live streams. I'd love to hit 3,000 subscribers this year. With that, I'll see you in the next video, and have a great day.